All right, I got three stories. I've got three stories for you. I have three stories for you today. One is about Strickland getting in a fight on the slopes. That'll be the first one that we cover because there's a video. I'm sure you guys want to see that. Second, we're going to cover Merab beating up Sneako and getting him kicked out of the PI permanently, apparently. I don't know if he did it, but whatever. But Sneako's banned. And then the third one, I am going to show you Sean Strickland getting punked by a Navy SEAL in pretty clear and decisive fashion, you know. So it's a mixed bag for Sean today. He gets a W on the slopes, another one bites the dust, and then he gets painted into a corner and kind of checkmated by this Navy SEAL. Not in like an irreversible way, but definitely in their exchange, there's a clear winner, and it ain't Sean. Sometimes you can't even script these stories better than they are for multiple reasons. So obviously, I was sent this morning. UFC champ Sean Strickland fights stranger on snowy ski slopes. And I assumed, of course, that he must have gotten into a fight on the ski slopes because it says he fought a stranger on the ski slopes. And he says he has a message for anyone else who wants to challenge him. It's like, all right, so this sounds like Strickland beat up a civilian, right? Like that's certainly how this is being represented. And I'm going to show you the video of exactly what happened. But more important than that, my favorite hobby is exposing incompetent lying media. And so in this case, it's going to be both, kind of, both. So check this out. UFC champ Sean Strickland fights stranger on snowy ski slope. Okay, so that's fine. Right, we're going to read this and we're going to look at the video, but watch this. This is hilarious. Men's Journal, right? Men's Journal, you would expect them to know basic things about UFC fighters, right? So, we go back and I'm sorry, let me adjust this for you guys. What do you see right there when you see Men's Journal? UFC heavyweight champ Sean Strickland gets into a fight with a snowboarder on slopes. Now, obviously, he's neither a heavyweight or the champion, and so calling him the UFC heavyweight champion is a level of incompetent from a journalist level that I actually would just defer to Ariel. Have someone in Ariel's next live stream ask him how incompetent the journalist at Men's Journal is to call Sean Strickland the UFC heavyweight champion. It's absurd. You know what else is absurd is that you have not subscribed to the channel yet and liked this video. You know what kind of person would not like the video and subscribe to my channel? The dude who wrote this article in Men's Journal. He's a heavyweight champion of the world. Should I subscribe? No. You don't want to be like him. It's literally like writing an article about Barack Obama and saying that he's a 5'3" white woman. It's ludicrous. But anyway, so because here's the thing, honestly, we're going to read the article and we're going to watch the video of the incident, but just think about this, right? It's laughable to us because we know who Sean Strickland is, okay? The job of journalists is to communicate information to the public. It is to learn about stories, fact check, and then deliver that information to the public, okay? Does the story change if Sean is the heavyweight champion? Yes, because the heavyweight champion is a very specific, there is no higher thing that you can be than the heavyweight champion of the UFC, okay? He's not a heavyweight and he's not the champion. It's like missing a detail in the direction that sensationalizes the story. It almost makes me think that the guy did it on purpose. Anyway, but so Chris Malone Mendez, you are incompetent and stupid. How could you miss that? And now we're going to look at this video of the actual incident. So this is Sean's win in the video, all right? Like, so actually he has two wins in this video. He's got this, and then he's got the Machine Gun Kelly thing in the article written about that. But he takes a big L with the Navy SEALs. Navy SEALs paint. I mean, it is an absolute checkmate. I don't know if, I'm recording these segments separately, so maybe I've already said that, when you see the final video, but this is a 10-6 round checkmate in the Navy SEAL story, which Sean is if Sean comments on it, for sure he's going to acknowledge it. But now let's watch this fight video and we'll discuss. Also notable, the reason why people are doing this is because of the Sneako thing. Hilarious that's the outcome, is that now people randomly want to challenge him and they're like, I want to get beat up by Sean Strickland. And then Sneako obviously got kicked. Well, I don't know if it's obvious. Sneako got kicked out of the the UFC PI permanently now because he went in there and Merab mopped him. So we're going to, I'm definitely going to talk about it. I don't know if it's going to be in this video, but notable that is the outcome now. So let's check this out and we'll talk about it.
I can't. All right, dog, let's go.
Get his ass, Jay.
Nah, dude, fucking tell you quit, motherfucker.
Oh, get his ass, Jay. Bro, get his ass, Jay.
You're trying to suck me off. You're trying to wrestle.
Let's go, Jay.
Come on, doctor.
Go, Jay. Go up.
You ain't gonna sit out on me, motherfucker.
Let's go, Jay. No, we're chilling. We're chilling. It's fine.
Dude, you can.
Don't be a hero, dude.
Shut the board.
Tap.
You could tell that guy had skills, though, dude. You could tell that guy had skills because Sean, you could just Sean had to work. Sean had to work to put that guy down. Obviously completely dominated, but I'm saying he actually had to expend some energy there. The dude clearly, either trains for sure. It's not the first time recently that Sean Strickland has gotten in a fight with a non-professional fighter. By the way, is that good reporting that he got in a fight? You know what I mean? He got in a fight. Is that really? So he's the heavyweight champion and he got in a fight. Look at this, dude. What are you talking about? You can write that he's the heavyweight champion of the world, and that's just objectively incorrect, right? So, hi, I'm the Men's Journal. I called him heavyweight champion of the world. Wrong. So that's just wrong. But then you wrote the article up and you said it's not the first time that he's gotten in a fight with a non-professional. It's that's not getting in a fight, dude. That's a guy who challenged him to a wrestling match on the slopes. I'm sorry, did you say Snopes or slopes? I meant to say slopes, but I kind of said slopes. Nice. Excellent, dude. You could just edit that out. I would rather film myself making fun of myself saying it wrong. Interesting choice. I mean, you're talking to a person who does this professionally, okay? There's a difference between hyperbolic language and saying a thing that is just objectively not communicating at all what it means. Getting in a fight means that you went to a place and unexpectedly had a confrontation with a person and then tried to hurt them or they tried to hurt you. That's getting in a fight, okay? Being terrifying video of blah, blah emerges. Okay, well, terrifying, that is a subjective word. It might have been terrifying to the person who watched it, or shocking, might have shocked the person who watched it. That's subjective. Getting in a fight has a very specific meaning, and it ain't some guy challenged him to a wrestling match on the slopes. Now, would I pick this apart if it wasn't for the, heavyweight champion thing? Probably not. But since I'm already doing that, I figure I may as well go all the way and just point out that this journalist has no business whatsoever talking about fighting whatsoever, ever. And just to close this segment out, this guy covered this portion as such. As for anyone else who thinks they're tough enough to take on Strickland, whether on solid ground or on the snow, the UFC champ had simple words under his newest video on the slopes. Y'all need to stop challenging me. Boom, man. That's how you dramatically end an article. But I will say this, you definitely do not need to stop challenging Sean Strickland. You can challenge him as much as you want. The thing is, though, no one ever gets to complain that Sean went too hard ever again. That's just what it is, okay? If you don't want to get beat up, then do not challenge Sean Strickland. If you want to get beat up like this dude and you want to get a video of it, it's pretty cool. I got to be honest, he got choked out. Who cares? He tapped and he let go. Pretty cool to have that video, don't you think? He made Strickland work pretty hard. I would be pretty proud of that if I was him. Strickland is the middleweight champion, arguably, but you know what I mean? I'd feel pretty good if I made him work that hard, But don't challenge him and then complain if he beats the shit out of you. You know what I mean? So let's move on to the next story. Not sure which one it's going to be, but I promise it's going to be good. All right, so we got to talk about Sneako getting kicked out of the PI. I actually have not watched this clip yet, but I heard Merab just mops him, and then now he is permanently banned from the PI. So let's just watch this clip first, then we'll discuss.
So the streamer Sneako sparred and got beat up by another MMA fighter last night. First it was Sean Strickland, then Nate Diaz. Last night Merab Dvalishvili had his turn.
Gift wrap. He can take the triangle. He can do Oh my God, he could finish him like 8 different ways right there.
You wanna be fighting?
Take the arm,
You wanna be
choke.
fighting? Pull that hand down. Pull that hand down. Pull his hand down off your neck.
Brian Ortega details his quote-unquote
That is so funny, dude. Yeah, so that's funny. I don't know. I'm curious why that led to him getting banned from the Performance Institute. I guess, dude, honestly, that's got to be a Dana call. He probably was like, this dude is, he's just, I don't know. Like, maybe he's like, I wonder if Dana has ever seen Sneako's content. Like, I wonder about that stuff because he's so, like, again, hearts and minds is what's actually going on in the world right now. And Sneako is one of the most visible guys who's in like his early to mid 20s, who is talking all the like, all the stuff that we all think is important. So I don't know. I'm not sure if everybody knows who he is. I still don't think people know who he is. They're just like, oh, he's just this clown streamer, because that would be the case in almost every other case. He's just not one of those guys. Like, he's actually really smart and, shares a viewpoint with Dana on basically everything, But, yeah, I mean, the outcome of that interaction is unsurprising. Oh, Merab was able to beat up Sneako. Shocker, looks exhausting. Looks exhausting. Looks like sparring with him is just about as fun as fighting him in the octagon, because he just never runs out of gas. Dude, how crazy is that story that he went 3 rounds with Aljo before the Cejudo fight? God, man, I'm so envious of that. That would be so fun, man. If you could just like endless cardio. Honestly, like that's the thing that anything related to combat sports that I've ever done, the fatigue has always been the thing I'm most concerned about. I'm going to open mat here. I'm going to leave in an hour or so. I'm excited to go, but in the back of the thing I always have to talk myself over is knowing I'm going to get incredibly fatigued. I hate being fatigued. I hate it, dude. I mean, like everybody else. Like that's the hard thing that you have to convince yourself to go do every day. And I mean, to be able to just have that not be a factor in your combat sport must be just amazing, dude. I mean, I'm sure, obviously it comes on the other side of a lifetime of hard work, but gosh, that is just incredible. I'm so envious, dude. That's why I've always said I think EPO is the most egregious performance enhancer there is. Oh, you get stronger with juice. All right. Like obviously that's also performance enhancing, but EPO, dude, you just never run out of gas. You can just go forever. That's just so wildly unfair. It really makes you wonder. I wonder which of the jiu-jitsu athletes use that, because the guys who are just openly like, yeah, I use performance enhancers. Like, why would they not be using EPO? And then you watch some of these guys that do 40-minute matches and they don't look tired. You're like, I'm actually in this case specifically talking about Gordon when he fought Pena, where like he just was not even tired after 40 minutes. And, obviously he's made no secret about his enhanced, state. So I don't know, but he also exerts little to no energy throughout his entire sequence of applying jiu-jitsu, which is very impressive. He looks like he's going to take a nap the whole time. Anyway, let's move on to the next story. All right, so let's move over to the Navy SEAL responding to Sean Strickland's challenge and painting him into a corner of which there is no escape. So let's watch this real quick, and then we will talk about it because, like I said, there's just like, this is a checkmate, okay? Let's watch.
So Sean Strickland made some comments about Navy SEALs recently, and he's receiving a good bit of backlash over it on TikTok. Sean said that he would break any Navy SEAL if they came and trained with him. And an account by the name of Mighty Warrior 2024, who makes content about being a Navy SEAL, responded to Sean. Here's how it went down.
I don't think there's one Navy SEAL who could survive a week training with me. I'm kind of sick of seeing it, because like, you guys think bad, come train with me for a week. I'll show you what's up. I'll break you.
Sean, we get it. You're a bad. bro. But check it out. Your training partners get millions of dollars and they actually live. My swim buddies, they die every single year. Do you have any idea what that means? We've already proven that any kind of beatdown will not break us, but our training will simply just end your career, Sean. I'm talking about skin grafts on the thighs. Sean, you talk about taking people's souls from their body. Well, me and my boys, we've actually taken a lot of real souls from people. You know what I'm saying, bro? Your training is absolutely brutal, man. We get it. I understand. But your training doesn't kill dudes every single year. And that's the world that we live in, brother. My best advice for you, Sean, is to stay in the octagon, keep fighting for that next purse. And us SEALs, we'll keep fighting for your freedom, brother.
So let me tell you what I think this guy, what he got right, where there's here. Okay, like I'll tell you right where the gap is, because I think both sides are incorrect on one particular point. But where Strickland got checkmated is where the guy's like, yeah, dude, he's like, that's good. Your training partners, they make millions of dollars. And well, I don't know about, I mean, not all of them make millions of dollars, but you know what I mean? And then they go home and, you know, like train, fight, millions of dollars, whatever. He's like, my boys train, fight, die. And you're like, yeah, that's, I think that would be checkmate. Here are the two clips that checkmate Sean if they're going to get into a back and forth about this.
Your training partners get millions of dollars and they actually live. My swim buddies, they die every single year. Do you have any idea what that means? Keep fighting for that next purse. And us SEALs, we'll keep fighting for your freedom, brother.
So that's a W right there. And the reason is because this is just a verbal thing. These guys aren't going to fight. They're not going to do whatever. And I mean, obviously, we know where that's going to go if they fight. But like, it's not about that. This is a verbal back and forth. And as soon as, I mean, Sean's brand is America, patriotism, which I respect as much as I could respect anything. Oh, I guess I technically respect the SEALs who like go and die for the country more. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like Sean, this is like patriotism is his brand. It's who he is. As soon as a guy brings up like, yeah, you know what we're training for is so that we can go sacrifice our lives to protect your freedom at home. What are you going to say back to that, dude? You know, you're like, yeah, but you guys are pussies in Hell Week. You're like, what? You know? And that's, you know, that honestly is the other side of this conversation is it's two-sided. Number one, is Strickland going to be able to break any of the Navy SEALs? No, it's already tried and proven. People who are breakable from physical exertion and pain will be broken in buds training, period. Like they're not going to make it. Like if they're breakable, they're not going to make it through. So that's just not going to happen. Now, the flip side of the conversation is I had a lot of people, you know, commenting on this. They're like, Strickland would get broken by SEAL training. No, he wouldn't. No, he would not. That guy, that's, you know, like, okay, so I know it breaks most people, right? But there are people who get through, right? Like Navy SEALs exist. So whatever, the 10%, I don't know exactly what the graduate rate is. I think it's like, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10%. I apologize, guys. I don't know the exact stats. But I believe it's like 8 to 10% or something like that. 90% wash out. Okay. Well, so Strickland is that 10%. He's going to, I mean, listen, I am talking about things I don't really know enough about to say, given that I am buddies with a lot of actual Navy SEALs who I could have this conversation with. But bottom line is Strickland's not going to ring that bell, dude. He's just not going to. He's not going to. He might get, you know, he might like wash out from some kind of illness or whatever or something like, but that guy, he will not quit. I would bet my life on that he did not ring the bell from pain. Now there's all kinds of stuff about buds that I know nothing about. I probably don't know 90% of it, but the part I'm talking about is when people ring the bell, that's them voluntarily quitting. That's what that is. That's not going to happen, dude. Sean is not going to quit. In a big group of men that are all being tested together, that he won't do it. I'm certain of that. He's not going to ring the bell. He is the exact person that either gets through or like washes out because he can't swim or something, or he gets like blood poisoning and gets too sick to continue or something. Like, the guy's not going to quit. You know what I mean? Now, the thing about taking actual souls, you know, like knocking off enemy combatants, like, I mean, yeah, it's true. I don't think it's like a relevant point necessarily. I think the other stuff's relevant. I don't know if that one is, just because you think Sean in that situation is not going to be able to pull a trigger on an enemy combatant, or, you know, anybody in this community. This put us in that situation. Anybody's going to put him down. Not saying they would be anywhere remotely as well trained and, you know, physically prepared for it, but like in terms of just, oh, enemy there, bang, pretty sure that everybody's capable of doing that. But that's obviously no disrespect to Navy SEALs. You know, I just don't think it's a necessarily, I don't think it's a relevant point in the conversation with Strickland is all I'm saying. But obviously 10 out of 10 respect to both guys. But Strickland definitely does not win, at least at current state. We'll see what I mean, who knows if he'll even respond, but if he does respond, I don't know what else there is to say, except that's not what I meant, dude. I have nothing but respect and gratitude for what you guys do.